Hello, Summer of Learning students. I'm Mr. Robert, and I'm here for some summer math. Today we're going to do an activity called pattern block fractions. You'll need your pattern blocks, your packet, and a pencil. Let's get started. You may have seen a pattern block activity before where we gave these values to the pattern blocks. We gave the triangle a value of 1. And therefore, we said that the blue rhombus had a value of 2 because you could fit 2 triangles onto one blue rhombus. So we gave the rhombus a value of 2. We gave the trapezoid a value of 3 because we could fit 3 triangles on one trapezoid. And we gave the hexagon a value of 6 because you can fit 6 triangles on a hexagon. So you may have seen a lesson where we used these values for the triangle, the rhombus, the trapezoid, and the hexagon. Well, today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to start off with the hexagon. And we're going to give the hexagon a value not of 6, but we're going to give it a value of 1. So if the hexagon has a value of 1, what value does the trapezoid have? If you would like, you can pause the video, do some thinking on your own, and then come back to the video when you are done thinking. Well, if I'm trying to figure out the value of this trapezoid, I'm going to start off by seeing how many trapezoids fit on that hexagon, and I can see that 2 of them fit on. So if 2 of them fit on this one whole hexagon, then this trapezoid is half of the hexagon, and this trapezoid is half of the hexagon. Therefore, the value of a trapezoid is going to be 1/2. Well, if the trapezoid is 1/2, what do you think will be the value of a rhombus? And what do you think will be the value of a triangle? If you would like, you can pause the video, do some thinking on your own, and then come back to the video when you are done thinking. What value did you figure out for the rhombus? Well, let me see how many rhombuses fit on this hexagon. Here we go. Oops. Here we go, right there. All right. 3 of the rhombuses fit on the hexagon. So this rhombus is 1/3 of this whole. This is 1/3, and this is 1/3. So each rhombus equals 1/3. And now it's time to figure out the triangle. Get these triangles on here. And I've got 6 triangles, if I can get them on there. 6 triangles on this trapezoid. So this is a 6th, a 6th, a 6th, a 6th, a 6th, and a 6th of this whole. So each triangle equals 1/6. So now these are the values that we are going to work with today. Using this key, where a hexagon equals 1, a trapezoid equals 1/2, a rhombus equals 1/3, and a triangle equals 1/6, what value would you give to this shape here? What number goes with this shape? If you would like, you can pause the video, do some thinking on your own, and then come back to the video when you are done thinking. I can think of at least 2 different answers for a number that I would assign to this shape. If a trapezoid equals 1/2, then this is 1/2, 2/2, 3/2. So I could assign the number 3/2 to this shape, and that would be correct. The other thing that I could do is if I move the shapes around, the pattern blocks around, I can see that I've got 2 trapezoids here. When I put them together, this makes a hexagon, which is 1. Hexagon equals 1. So this is 1.5. So I could also say that this is 1.5. And that would also be correct because 1.5 is the same as 3/2. Well, I made a shape, and now it's your turn. I want you to use your pattern blocks and make a shape, and then use this key to decide what number you're going to assign to the shape that you make. Have fun. One more challenge for you. This sheet, Pattern Block Fractions, is from your packet. And then over here we have the key. A hexagon equals 1, trapezoid equals 1/2, a rhombus equals 1/3, and a triangle equals 1/6. Using this key, I want you to build shapes according to what the fraction says. So this first one says 1.5. So if I need 1.5, well, here's 1, and here's 1/2. This is 1.5. Can you now build 2.5, 3.1/3, 5/6, 3.5 plus 1 2/3, 6 minus 3 5/6, and half as much as 5.1/3. Some challenging ones here. You may not be able to do all of them, but see which ones you can do. If you'd like, you can pause the video, do some work on your own, and then come back to the video when you are done working. We're not going to review answers for all of these, but I thought I would go through 2 of them with you. Number 2 here says 2.5, and here is 2. Each hexagon is worth 1, so 1, 2, and then a trapezoid is 1/2, so 2.5. That's one way you could have done 2.5, but you could have done it another way. You might have decided to make this one whole. Instead of using 1 hexagon, you might have used 3 rhombuses, because 3 rhombuses, 3/3, is the same as 1 whole. And maybe for this whole, you decided to use 2 trapezoids, because 2/2 equal 1 whole. And then for the half, you might have decided to use 3 triangles, because 3/6 is the same as 1/2. So this also here is 2.5. Kind of fun, huh? One other one I wanted to go over is number 5, which said 3.5 plus 1 2/3. So here's 3, 1, 2, 3.5, and here's 1 2/3. And if you did that, great. But I noticed something. For my half, I could have chosen to use 3/6 because 1/2 is the same as 3/6. And then for my 2/3, I could have chosen to use 4/6 because 4/6 is the same as 2/3. Oh, and look, now that I've got all these 6, oh my goodness, if I do that and I do that, now I've got another whole. And so now I know that 3.5 plus 1 2/3 equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a 6. Cool, huh? Thanks for joining me. See you next time.